Elite Facts presents
7 celebrities who hate their films.
7.
Bill Murray, Garfield. This story always makes us laugh, so who remembers that god-awful film adaptation of Garfield, the one starring the voice of Bill Murray? Well, as it turns out, he hates every second of that film. To be fair, can you blame him? Now, Murray at the time wanted to do an animated kids film, and obviously, with Garfield being one of the biggest and most recognizable cartoons out there, it seemed like a good fit. That's not what sold him on this film, though. You see, there are 2 directors in Hollywood with the same name except for one letter. There's Joel Coen of the famous Coen brothers, who wrote and directed Inside Llewyn Davis, Burn After Reading, The Big Lebowski, and of course Fargo, among many other critically acclaimed films. And then there's Joel Coen with an H, who wrote Cheaper by the Dozen, Daddy Day Camp, Monster Mash the movie, and other light comedies, including Garfield the movie. Like anyone might, Murray mistakenly thought that the Garfield script was written by the former, more acclaimed director, and signed on to voice the famous cat in the movie series. It's a common mistake to make. The 66-year-old actor explained what happened in a revealing response during a Reddit chat after a fan asked, "Will there be a Garfield 3?" Murray replied, quote, "I don't think so. I had a hilarious experience with Garfield. I only read a few pages of it, and I kind of wanted to do a cartoon movie because I had looked at the screenplay and it said Joel Coen on it." In all fairness, we probably shouldn't say he hated the film. It's more like he just regretted it. So much so that he actually mentioned this in his dialogue during his Zombieland cameo appearance. To sum it all up, you could say that the whole incident was lost in translation. Yeah, I heard you groan, and I apologize for that.
6.
Shelley Duvall, The Shining. As much flack as Shelley Duvall received for her performance in The Shining, we thought her performance was pretty convincing for the most part. Keep that in mind. For most of the film, when she's not acting scared, we don't know. Her performance wasn't great. However, during the segments where she's absolutely terrified, her performance is pretty damn convincing. Well, there's a perfectly good reason for that. During the shoot of The Shining, director Stanley Kubrick went out of his way to torment her throughout the whole film's production. Now, it's no secret that Kubrick is harsh to his cast and crew, but there is a method to his madness, as it does tend to bring out the best in them. During the production, Kubrick would frequently scare Shelley Duvall, to the point that, in the scene where she gets slowly chased up the stairs by Jack Nicholson while trying to defend herself with a baseball bat, she was actually terrified. Apparently, the scene was shot 127 times, and Kubrick kept putting her down for every mistake as a way to get the right performance out of her. Duvall would later admit that, as harsh as it was, it worked.
5.
George Clooney, Batman and Robin. This one should be no surprise. George Clooney is a great actor, there's no question about it. But what the hell was he thinking when he took the role of Batman in the 1997 film Batman and Robin? Considering how bad Batman Forever was. That's right, we said it. You'd think Clooney would have avoided this train wreck at all costs. Well, not exactly. The 4th film in the Tim Burton/Joel Schumacher Batman film franchise was an absolute disaster. It went beyond campy, as it honestly made the 1960s Adam West Batman look like the Dark Knight by comparison. Clooney himself has spoken critically of the film, saying, quote, "I think we might have killed the franchise," and called it, quote, "a waste of money." Well, lucky for Clooney, he didn't star in the worst DC superhero film. What could possibly be worse than Batman and Robin?
4.
Halle Berry, Catwoman. Oh God, we're in for some real hot garbage now. Okay, this statement is going to be pretty biased right now, but Catwoman may be one of the worst films we've ever seen. This film is hated universally by fans, critics, and casual moviegoers alike. This film had so much hype behind it that it was pretty much destined to be a disappointment. We bet Michelle Pfeiffer is glad she stayed far away from this film. And we weren't the only ones who hated this film. Catwoman herself, Halle Berry, absolutely hated this movie. The film received several Razzie Awards in categories such as Worst Film and Worst Director, and Berry herself received a Razzie Award for Worst Actress in a Motion Picture. When accepting the award, she said, quote, "I'd like to thank Warner Brothers. Thank you for casting me in this piece of shit, god-awful movie. It's exactly what my career needed."
3.
Ben Affleck, Daredevil. Who doesn't hate Daredevil? We're sorry, but this film was absolutely god-awful. It's truly as bad as a superhero film can get. Well, except for maybe the previous two examples we've given. Still, our point stands. Daredevil was an absolute mess, as it was a superhero film that was released at a time where everything had to be dark, brooding, and edgy. Instead, however, it just comes across as very silly and ridiculous. Okay, maybe we're being a little too harsh on this film. It's definitely the better film of the three superhero films on this list, as it is at least enjoyable to some sick extent. The only saving grace about this film is Colin Farrell as Bullseye. He's just so goofy that he's downright adorable. Anyway, we're not the only ones who hate this film. As it turns out, the main star of the film, Ben Affleck, isn't too fond of this film and his own performance. While promoting Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Affleck said during an interview that, quote, "That's the movie I want to do. I want to be a part of that, Batman vs. Superman. Part of it was I wanted for once to get one of these movies and do it right, to do a good version. I hate Daredevil so much." Well, unfortunately, Batman vs. Superman wasn't great, but hey, he plays Batman pretty damn well, and Dawn of Justice is a million times better than Daredevil, so it's a step in the right direction.
2,
Robert Pattinson, Twilight. Oh, what's that? You hate Twilight? Well, at least you didn't have to star in all 5 of the goddamn movies in the series. Yes, as it turns out, the actor who plays the leading role of Edward, Robert Pattinson, absolutely despises the Twilight franchise as a whole. Pattinson got his first major role in the 4th Harry Potter film, The Goblet of Fire. This film launched his career. Unfortunately for the young wizard, he had no idea that his future involved playing the role of sparkly vampire Edward Cullen in the then massive Twilight franchise. However, even way back in 2008, Pattinson made zero effort to hide his opinion of the character. In an interview with Empire magazine, he poked fun at himself for being a century-old virgin. He states that when he read the book, he immediately hated the character due to how he was this, and we quote, ridiculous person who's so amazing at everything. He also made a wisecrack about how the character is a 108-year-old virgin who clearly has issues. The interview is actually quite hilarious. The thing about this interview, though, is that he made these claims before he had to play the guy for 4 years. Even while playing the role of Edward, Pattinson was still taking shots at the character, as he himself has stated that the trick to portraying Edward is just looking, quote, slightly constipated and stoned. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Someone put together a compilation of the various press junkets during which Pattinson hilariously trashed the movies he was supposedly promoting. Our favorite moments include the quote, "When I read it, it seemed like a book that wasn't supposed to be published," the part where he says Edward is creepy in a serial killer kind of way, and the part where he says Twilight author Stephenie Meyer is even creepier because she's clearly in love with the character. Regarding Bella and Edward's relationship, he says, quote, "There's definitely something wrong with her, and there's very obviously something wrong with me." He may have hated the role, but he certainly made the best of a bad situation by completely ripping the films and books to shreds.
1,
Sean Connery, the later James Bond films. This is one we all know about. So it's no secret that Sean Connery absolutely hated James Bond. Before starring in the first 007 film, Dr. No, Connery was just another average Joe. Sure, he had a few roles in films and television, but before all the fame, he was just another ex-milkman, ex-coffin polisher, ex-footballer. The second he became James Bond, however, everything changed. Everyone loved him. To this day, most people still think he's the living embodiment of James Bond, more so than any of his successors. Every woman wanted him, and every man wanted to be him. Well, except for one person, Connery himself. He didn't want to be Bond. As a previously unknown starving actor, he was grateful for the fame and success that the James Bond role had given him, but he wasn't exactly a fan of performing it, saying, quote, "I've always hated these damn James Bond. I'd like to kill him." I mean, in his defense, he did suffer the same issues that Adam West suffered in the years after his Batman TV series. Both actors were typecast as the characters they played so well. Connery was reluctant to sign on for more than one Bond movie, and when he reached the last one, he gave away the entire salary to charity, presumably out of spite. Did we leave any out? Well, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell button to receive notifications about new videos we upload. And thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.